This is Basketball More Than a Game with your hosts, Coach Goins and Coach Quick. Former high school coach and player have teamed up again to share their knowledge of the game and life skills on and off the court. Now here are Coaches G and Q.
All right, this is Coach Goins, and along with Coach Quick, thank you for tuning in for another fast break episode of Basketball More Than a Game, the hottest podcast this side of a basketball court. Listen, we have got a full slate today. Coach Quick, what's popping?
Hey, what's going on, Coach G? You want to know what's popping with Coach Q? Well, Coach Q is so excited about our show today. We have two very special guests on the show in Hadiya and Aaliyah Balser, who will be attending Winston-Salem State University next year on a full basketball scholarship. And we're also going to be talking about the NBA playoffs as well as the PGA Championship. And after this short break, Coach G is going to come right back, and we're going to be chopping it up with our very special guests, Hadiya and Aaliyah Balser. So make sure those sneakers are laced up tight.
All right, folks, Coach Quick has set the table, and we're going to pick it up right now. So listen, make sure you got your sneakers on. Like you said, you got them laced up tight. If you need to put on some tube socks, or who we have on via telephone, our very special guest, Hadiya and Aaliyah Balser, that is getting ready to head to Winston-Salem, North Carolina, and they're going to be playing for the Winston-Salem State University Rams.
Good morning. Good morning.
Excellent. So here's the deal, Coach Quick. You know what? You know their dad.
Yes, sir.
You know their mom, and this is what we're going to do. We're putting them out there, and we're putting them on blast because you know what? When this show is over with, everybody's going to know about these two upcoming superstars that have just signed scholarships to Winston-Salem State University. So with that, Coach Quick, if you don't mind, I'll give you the honors of asking the very first question.
Definitely. Ladies, my first question to you, I'm going to start it off with Hadiya, and then Aaliyah, I want you to come in and piggyback off of her answer. My first question, how did you ladies start playing basketball?
I definitely started because of my dad. That's where I kicked off. I started playing rec ball, and he was my coach for probably my first 5 to 7 years of basketball, and then we both had a love for it, so we just kept playing.
Definitely. Okay, now, Leah, will you piggyback off that answer?
Yep. I was inspired by my dad, too. And then I was inspired by my sister that led me playing basketball.
Okay, great. One thing I can tell you about your dad, he was an outstanding basketball player back in the day when we were in school, multi-talented athlete. So I can definitely see where you guys got that from him playing basketball.
You know what? You're right, exactly right, Coach Quick. So we'll go ahead and let the cat out of the bag. For those of you that don't know, Hadiya and Aaliyah are actually my great nieces. Their dad is my nephew. And he played for myself and Coach Quick back in Union Pines High School. We did have we were pretty good. When I say pretty good, I think our senior season, I think we were 24-7. We won the conference tournament championship. We made it to I think the third or fourth round of the state championship, losing to ultimately the team that beat us went on to win the state championship. But their dad, Philip, was one heck of a ball player. So the apple doesn't fall far from the tree. So we just like to, again, thank them for their time and their talent. So here's my questions, ladies. Both of you are going to Winston-Salem State. Both of you have different jersey numbers. So I'm going to ask Hadiya first, then Aaliyah. Why do you wear the number that you do?
Okay, starting off with me. Honestly, I've been between 4 and 22 for a long time, but after I had 22 this last year at Brunswick, and how I performed those 2 years, that's really what solidifying 22 for myself.
All right. So you're going to be able to wear that next year at Winston-Salem State?
I hope so. I'm going to definitely ask. All
right. Cool. And if not, go up one or go down one. But I'm not. I'm just throwing that out. All right.
I go back to 4.
Go back to 4. Okay. All right. Cool. All right.
My two primary numbers, 4 and 22.
All right. Aaliyah?
Mine's a funny story. So I wear 21 because I got it from a funny meme. When I was younger. So the funny meme was like, what's 9 plus 10? 21. So it was the funniest thing ever. So I chose that number, and it just stuck to me.
But you know what? That's and here's my thing, ladies. I'll let the cat out of the bag with this one. Coach Quick, if I had to pick a number right now to play basketball, you know what my number would be?
What would it be?
34.
Okay, give me the reason why.
Because Charles Barkley.
Absolutely.
I don't know why, but I've always been partial to that number. When I see that number on a jersey, there's something about it. I've just always liked number 34. Even though I never played basketball to be able to have a jersey, like our special guest today. But yeah, that would be what would be your jersey number, Coach Quick?
It would actually be number 6, and it's because LeBron James is my favorite basketball player.
All right, so there it is right there. So, ladies and gentlemen, we are so excited with our very special guests. They are headed to Winston-Salem State University. So, let's go here. Hadiya, you just finished at Brunswick Community College. Take us through your, what you were able to accomplish. I saw some video, and you've been on the commercials with Brunswick Community College. Talk to us about that, if you don't mind.
Brunswick was actually very good for me because, when you're coming out of high school, your first thought is it's never JUCO, and that's just the reality of it. So when I was actually able to go, I was getting a lot of knowledge. I was able to mature. I was able to improve myself mentally, physically, and I felt like that was really what I needed. I feel like JUCO was very developmental for me to help me get to this point where I'm at now. I was able to a lot statistically, academically. I was able to get my associates, and it was a great experience. And my coach Joe Gahan, he was always there to be very helpful. So with his support and the support of my family, I was definitely able to grasp what I needed to.
Excellent. You know what? And then that's a great call out, and certainly appreciate you taking us there. And actually, from Brunswick Community College, we had on the men's coach. And I know Coach Quick remembers that in that conversation really well.
Coach Shaw.
With Coach Walter Shaw. So we definitely appreciate. And actually, we talked about you, Hadiya, when we were on the show, and he was, got to talking. I said, "You may know my great niece," and he says, "Who?" And I called your name, and he was like, "Whoa, she always hoops with the guys." So great segment there. So all right, so let's kick it over to Hadiya now. In reference to Union Pines, if you don't mind, tell us what you like playing for the Vikings, or why'd you like playing for them?
I heard that the coach was she was a good coach, so I went back to Union Pines to play for her.
Excellent.
From O'Neill.
All right, that's right. I forgot that you were at O'Neill. Now, you all played for the state championship while you were at O'Neill your junior year, and then your senior year you went to you transferred to Union Pines, and you guys made the playoffs. Is that correct?
Yes, we only went to 2 rounds.
All right, but you were selected. What I think you got some. What honors did you pick up your senior year?
I got most valuable player, all conference, all district. I got the Sandhills 3A, 4A conference honor.
Wow.
I understand that.
Coach Quick, man, that's a little bit of hardware. You know what? We might have to call Philip and tell him he might have to add on a whole trophy room. Take out a wall or do something, because that's a whole lot of hardware that's in the Balser home. So
and more to come.
And without a doubt. So I don't know about you, Coach Quick, but my call is going to be headed to Winston-Salem State University and checking out these 2 dynamic ladies that's going to be on the hardwood. And what a historic institution. What a great institution for basketball, HBCU. So, ladies, we're so excited for you. We're so proud of everything that you've got accomplished on the hardwood. And not just that, also what you're getting done in the classroom, because without the classroom, the hoops don't come around. So listen, we're going to take a quick break, but who we have on via telephone, our very special guest, Hadiya and Aaliyah Balser, that is getting ready to head to Winston-Salem, North Carolina, and they're going to be playing for the Winston-Salem State University Rams. We'll be back after this commercial break.
Visit our website, coachgoins.podbean.com. Always learn to pass. Process, attitude, sacrifice, satisfaction.
Looking for a smarter way to shop for your insurance for you and your families? Look no further. There is help. With several different companies and plans to choose from, whether it's life insurance or Medicare supplemental plans, finding the right plan has never been easier. Licensed with multiple companies and able to shop various rates, plans to help find the best plan for you and your budget. Independent insurance broker Curtis Jackson is the one to call for help. Call Curtis now at 919-614-5796 for a no-cost consultation. The GQ Coaches Show is coming to ESPN Radio 1240 The Boss. Coaches Goins and Quick have teamed up again for candid conversation regarding professional, collegiate, and high school sports. The GQ Coaches Show on ESPN Radio 1240 The Boss. See you then. If you're in the Triangle area and looking for high-quality green cleaning, we have the solution. SCS Enterprise, with over 18 years of providing high-quality green cleaning to the Triangle area, call Eric at 919-607-7171 and tell them Coach Goins sent you. You're listening to Basketball More Than a Game with Coach Goins and Coach Quick.
All right, we're back in. This is Coach Goins along with Coach Q and our very special guest. We have two ladies that we are fond of. And you know what, Coach Quick, people don't realize I've had the opportunity to work these two ladies out. And
Yes, sir.
And I could tell then they could go. I could tell then that they could hoop. And I understand the apple doesn't fall far from the tree. So we're going to give a shout out to their dad, and not just their dad, their mom, and their entire body of work that their parents have done over the last few years, you know, going up down the road, getting up early on Saturday morning, going to tournaments, sitting in the gym all day, you know, eating, hotel rooms. But again, it's all paid off because they have just inked deals to the to Winston-Salem State University for basketball scholarships. Now, for the folks that are listening, that is always a two-way street, because if the academics aren't there, the hoops are not going to come. Recruits can come knock on the door, and some people can only look through the peephole. But our special guest today, Coach Quick, was able to open the door and allow these coaches to come in and sit down and sign these contracts. So with that, I'm going to kick it over to Coach Quick as we get into our Real Talk segment. Coach Quick, you have the mic.
Yes, ladies. My next question for you, and I'll start with you, Aaliyah, this time. What was a great game that you played in, and tell us about how many points you scored? And once she answers, Hadiya, then you kick in with yours as well.
Yes, sir. Okay. One of my greatest games I had played this year was against Richmond. So the crowd was booing at me, and they was giving me motivation. So it made me feel good about myself. And the bright side, I had supporters there. So I dropped a 30-piece and had 12 rebounds. So, yeah.
Wait a minute now. Coach Quick.
Yes, sir.
Did she say she dropped a 30-piece?
Yes, I loved it because, like she said, the crowd was booing at her. So what better way? Give them that, drop that 30-piece on them and 12 big rebounds.
And guess what I'm going to have to do today?
What's that?
I think I'm going to go to McDonald's and say, when I roll up there, say, can I take your order? I'm say, yeah, can I get a 30-piece?
Absolutely.
And they're going to say, what? I'm like, I don't know. I heard that. You know what? That's 30. I'm going to, you know what, Coach Quick? We gonna steal the Aaliyah, can we steal that line?
Sure.
All right, man, I like that. Coach Quick, man, I'm gonna drop me a 30-piece. That's boy, whoa, Lord. All right, Hadiya, go ahead. I'm sorry.
You're all good. So do y'all want the high school or the college
Both.
game?
Come on. This your show. Go ahead.
So I can do both.
Yes.
Oh man. So so in high school in our conference championship game, I had a 40 piece.
Oh.
That was a
Oh.
really good.
A,
The stands were packed out. It was a really, really good game.
a
So
40 piece.
that'd be my high school one. And then my last game of my college season against the number 2 seed in our conference, I believe it was 33 points.
Wow.
That was
Wow. Coach Quick.
Yes, sir.
We got some ballers on, dude.
Absolutely.
They be dry.
yeah. And we also only had 6 people against in that game because we actually finished our season with 6 players.
Wow.
6 players. Wow.
Outstanding body of work, Coach G.
Without a doubt, man. That's 30. Man, but I tell you what, when y'all gonna cost me some money when I roll up to if I pull up to McDonald's and they say, "Can I take your order?" Yeah, can I get a 40 piece and a 30 piece? And they'll be like, "What?" Man, I like that. I like how y'all said that. That's you know what? That's pretty smooth, Coach Quick. So, all right, ladies. So we appreciate y'all telling us that. So let me ask you this, and I'm gonna start with Aaliyah, and then we'll move back into with Hadiya. So, what would be if you had to sit down and write it out? What would be if I handed you a sheet of paper? What would be the number one thing that you think you need to work on as you transition to Winston Salem State?
The number one thing I need to work on is my defensive position. So, like my balance and not to get in foul trouble and stay in front of the person.
Okay.
The opponent. Yeah.
All right. I like that. Good assessment. All right. Hadiya.
Yes, sir. So I'd probably say my ball handling and my confidence. I know the two things to work on. I feel like that's that last little bit that I would need to push me over that line that I need to cross.
All right. What do you think, Coach Quick?
Hey, I like it. Great assessments from both ladies, and the one thing I'll say to Adia, as far as the confidence level, hey, whenever you step on that floor, I feel like you're gonna be one of the best players to step on the floor against any and everybody. So you go in with this mentality that hey, nobody can stop me tonight. Number one, you're a Balser. Your dad felt like there was nobody on the floor that could stop him at any level. And I feel like you ladies have that same killer in you. So go on the floor and feel like, hey, I'm gonna take this person's heart tonight, each and every night. And it's in you because hey, you put up a 40 piece in a ball game and you put up a 33 piece against the number 2 seed in the conference. So that they can't stop you. Just always have that mentality. You're going to be the best player on any given night on the floor. Have that mentality going in, and you're going to be just fine. I love the assessments from both of you. And Aaliyah, you're defensive minded. You want to be able to stop the opposing team's best player, it sounds like to me. So just keep working at it, and you ladies got it.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.
You know what? That's why it's on the show, folks. That's why I'm just we ain't flying this plane. I ain't flying this plane solo. That's why Coach Quick is on there because you know what? He studied, showed himself approved, and he knows what he's talking about. So you know what? We're excited because you know who we have on today is none other than 2 outstanding hoopsers, right? They dropped 30 piece. They done dropped 40 piece. They done dropped 33 pieces. You know what? And when I hear that, Coach Quick, man, I just get excited. I get excited.
Sir.
You know, number one, just because you know I'm proud of what they're doing. I'm proud of their work, but most importantly, they're grounded. And they're grounded because you know they just got the total package. So when you look back and you see coaches like you know just like the coach at Winston Salem State, you know, for them to be able to have the forethought or be able to say, you know what, we can't let these 2 ladies get by us. We got to go after them, and you know, hats off to them, and we certainly appreciate them and what they've gotten done with that package deal. And you know what was so great? You know, I saw the articles in the newspaper. I read the article. when Aaliyah signed, and then when Hadiya signed, when she, graduation. Think about it. She's graduated. She's got an associate's degree, and I know she's studying psychology. Am I correct?
Yes, sir, you are.
All right. And then, Aaliyah, have you decided on what you're majoring in, or are you just gonna just go in and work on general studies right off the bat?
I'm thinking about majoring in sports management.
Coach Quick,
Yes, sir.
you know what? As soon as she finishes ink that deal, she may be representing us. It has been an honor and privilege that we've had these outstanding young ladies on the show, but we're not gonna let them off the hook so easy. So we've got another question for you. You all are going to Winston Salem State, and you're gonna be playing together. I'm sure that's gonna create a little excitement. You may be some anxiety kicking in, but in that, Hadiya, let's talk about the whole recruiting process. So if you don't mind sharing that story.
So our recruiting process is really interesting, actually. Coach Dex, the assistant coach at Winston State, he actually told me that he's seen me and Aaliyah play at Salem Baptist. They were in our conference at O'Neill, and he actually said he took our names down then, and then he tapped back into us and seen where we were at, and then that's when they actually were like, okay, they're still doing good, they're still flourishing, so let's go ahead and bring him in. And the night that the head coach, Coach Lamont, came to, I believe it was Wake Tech, I called Mom immediately after the game. I was like, Mom, Winston State coach was here, and she was like, yeah, Coach Dex was at Aaliyah's game, so they were actually watching us both on the same day in different places. And it was so crazy because Coach Dex, he was like, yeah, I remember you from high school. And he didn't. I think it's really crazy that he just tapped back into that. Like, two names that he wrote down and remembered us. And I'm really appreciative of that opportunity. I'm really glad he remembered us. And they had the capability to keep us together.
Well, you know what? When you drop in 30 piece and somebody's dropping 40 piece, that you ain't throwing that paper away, right? You gonna write them names down. You gonna stick that name on the poster in your office on the poster, or postage sticker, and they ain't gonna let you guys get away, and they didn't. So let me tell you about a conversation I had about 3 weeks ago. And I think I might have shared this with Coach Quick, and if I didn't, I'll share it now. So I'm in Raleigh. All right, so I'm on the way home for my 38-year class reunion. So I stop in Raleigh, and I stay with the Shaw University men's basketball coach, Coach Collins, who we've had on the show before, and he was my best man when I got married. So we go back all the way to the fourth grade. So he said the Shaw women's assistant coach is gonna stop through. So we got to talking hoops and all that stuff, and guess what? He knew who you all were. And he said, "Where you from?" And I told him. He goes, "Oh," he says, I said, "I used to coach at Union Pines." He goes, "Hey, there's two girls." And I just sat back and I just started smiling. So I just let him go ahead and tell the story. So he finished telling the story. When I laid that on him, he come up out of his chair. He says, "They're what?" I said, "They're my great nieces." He said, they're signing with Winston. I said, yes. So in that, what people don't realize, even though basketball is a global sport, but inside the inner workings is really small. Coaches communicate, they track, they talk across lines. But what a great story. We certainly appreciate you taking us there. So with that, as we start wrapping up with these two superstars, because you know what, they've got a busy schedule, and we're not going to prolong and tie their entire day up with that. Coach Quick, you got anything else you want to ask?
Yes, I just like to make a couple of comments to him. Number one, you said that the coach he wrote you guys' name down and remembered you from high school. Well, he did that because he saw something special in you both from the very first time that he saw you. So don't take it as a coincidence that he still remembered you. You guys got special written all over you, and I think you're going to do big and wonderful things at Winston-Salem State University. And as Coach G said earlier, his car is going to be headed to Winston-Salem State. Well, he got to make room in that SUV for me, because I'll be right there helping cheer you guys on. So, hey, best of luck to you, and go kill it at Winston-Salem State.
All right, Coach. We certainly appreciate that. So, as we start wrapping up with our special guest today, Aaliyah and Hadiya Balser, so we'll kick it over to you all for your closing comment.
Okay. Honestly, while I'm here, I just want to thank everybody. I want to thank you guys for having us on this great podcast. I do appreciate it. I just want to appreciate you guys' support, and thank you, Coach Quick, for those words. I do appreciate it.
Definitely.
And I really look forward to what's going to come next, because I can guarantee you guys going to be a lot in store. They got 2 years of me. So I really look forward to it, and I look forward to seeing everybody. And I want to thank everybody that tuned in, because I know a lot of people are tuning in, because a lot of people. So, again, just thank you guys. I appreciate everybody.
Now we'll turn it over to Aaliyah for your closing comment.
Thank you for having me on the show. I am planning to go hard and see what happens and be great.
You know what? That is a great expectation. That's a great way to set it up. And you know what? I know we're looking forward to it. So again, ladies, we certainly appreciate it. And we'll let you go for the rest of the day. You all enjoy are y'all working on your game today, or y'all taking the game or the day off?
Hadiya's taking the day off.
I don't know yet.
All right.
Trying to figure out what I'm going to do.
So that's okay. You know, sometimes you gotta let that rock sit over in the corner and take the day off. So listen, we certainly appreciate your time. We appreciate your body of work, and we're so proud, and we love you guys dearly. So we send our regards, and again, we just thank everybody that has impacted these young ladies' lives from the start to where they are right now, and we ask continued blessings for them as they move forward, and keep them protected and surrounded once they're on the campus of Winston-Salem State University. So we'll be back after this break.
Visit our website, coachgoins.podbean.com. Always learn to pass. Process, attitude, sacrifice, satisfaction.
If you're in the Triangle area and looking for high-quality green cleaning, we have the solution. SCS Enterprise, with over 18 years of providing high-quality green cleaning to the Triangle area, call Eric at 919-607-7171 and tell them Coach Goins sent you. The GQ Coaches Show is coming to ESPN Radio 1240 The Boss. Coaches Goins and Quick have teamed up again for candid conversation regarding professional, collegiate, and high school sports. The GQ Coaches Show on ESPN Radio 1240 The Boss. See you then. Looking for a smarter way to shop for your insurance for you and your families? Look no farther. There is help. With several different companies and plans to choose from, whether it's life insurance or Medicare supplemental plans, finding the right plan has never been easier. Licensed with multiple companies and able to shop various rates, plans to help find the best plan for you and your budget. Independent insurance broker Curtis Jackson is the one to call for help. Call Curtis now at 919-614-5796 for a no-cost consultation. You're listening to Basketball More Than a Game with Coach Goins and Coach Quick.
All right, this is Coach Goins and Coach Quick. We're back in, switching gears from our fantastic via telephone interview with Hadiya and Aaliyah Balser, headed to Winston-Salem State University this fall for basketball. Now, we are going to stay on that same vein, but we're going to switch to the NBA. Coach Quick, what is your take with the Boston Celtics and the Miami Heat, Game 2?
Well, you know what, Coach G, I thought Boston bounced back from game one the other night after that subpar performance in the third quarter of game one. I mean, getting Al Horford and Marcus Smart back, it put everybody in their respective places and where they need to be, and they came together stronger as a defensive unit. But I can't sum it up. Let's go listen to what Jason Tatum has to say.
You know, when we have Smart and Al back, we're just, that much more bigger and better defensively. So, obviously we miss those guys when they're not playing, but, it was great to have them back today.
Hey, ladies and gentlemen, you just heard what Jason Tatum had to say. Getting Al Horford and Marcus Smart back, it put everybody in place. They became a stronger unit defensively, and they just clicked on all cylinders in Game 2 the other night. I mean, at one point, I looked at the score, and Miami was down by 30, a 30 piece to the Boston Celtics. Jason Tatum had 29 points, no, 27 points, 5 rebounds, 5 assists. Marcus Smart came back, 24 points, 9 rebounds, 12 assists. Jaylen Brown, 24 points, 8 rebounds, 3 assists. And then coming off the bench, Boston got 31 points between Grant Williams, Pritchard, and Tice. Off their bench. So they were locked in and they were loaded. And then Al Horford, just the job that he did on Bam Adebayo, the defensive assignment. I mean, Boston was just all over the place defensively. And getting those two guys back, they were key cogs. I mean, Marcus Smart was the defensive player of the year. So getting him back to be able to guard some of the best talent that Miami has, I mean, hey, it puts Boston in all the right places. I can't say enough about the job that Ime Udoka is doing right now in his first year as head coach of the Boston Celtics. But I'll kick it over to you, Coach G.
Well, you know what? You sum it up, and I done told you what I'm rolling. I'm rolling with the boys from Beantown. Because when you have that out, first of all, let's back up and say this. The Boston Celtics go as Marcus Smart goes.
Absolutely.
And we've talked about it on this show. We pride ourselves on this show to bring you the real talk in sports. And this is what we're telling you. You cannot win at any level of basketball without solid guard play. What's happening, or what hurt Phoenix is their backcourt. What's hurting Miami is their backcourt. Okay, Jimmy Buckets can do what he thinks he can do, dropping 29. But you expect when Oladipo's giving you 14, Tyler Hero's only giving you 11, and then Bam Adebayo 6 points. Are you serious? All right. So we know that PJ Tucker, suffered a little bit, but then guess what? He only gave you 5. So we're not gonna beat him up for game 2. So what is your take for game 3? Now, actually, you know what? They're in Beantown tonight at 8:30. Who you rolling with?
I'm rolling with the Celtics tonight, and honestly, I don't think Miami wins a game in Beantown. I think after these 2 games in Boston, the Celtics will have a 3-1 lead, and I don't think Miami can win. The key to me for Miami, can you get Kyle Lowry back healthy? Kyle Lowry will be able to put all the pieces in place. And I got to say this, you touched on it. Bam Adebayo, holla if you hear me. Brother, we need you. Miami needs you to come up big for them in this series. And so far, you haven't done it. You did it defensively in game 1, but they need your offense. They need your offense desperately. Coach G, we've touched on it on this show with the Real Talking Sports many, many times. When it comes down to the regular season, it's all well and good that you got that outstanding guard play, guys getting you 20, 30, 35, whatever the case may be. But the game slows down in the playoffs. You got to have somebody in the post that can get you easy buckets. Bam Adebayo has that ability, but I need him to step up. See, Boston, they can go in the post and put Tatum or Brown in the post, and Horford can get it done as well. And they're just playing outstanding defense, and they're clicking on all cylinders right now. I like the Celtics in this series in 6.
You know what? I'm rolling with you. So let's go ahead and transition over to last night's debacle. And when I say debacle, and I'm going to call it that because when the Dallas Mavericks did what they did, right? So here's the deal.
Yes, sir.
42 points, 31 points, 21 points, 10, and you lose? When you score 42 by Luka, 31 by Brunson, 21 by Reggie Bullock, and you lose?
Had a 19-point lead, Coach G.
And you lose? So guess what? It's the long ball, right? Stop shooting that cockeyed 3. If it ain't dropping, why are you shooting it? I don't get it. All right. Go. First of all, what made you get that lead? All right. They wasn't putting they wasn't putting what's the number 1 kid? Wasn't putting Curry, and I don't know why I just had a brain freeze. They wasn't putting Curry in the ball screen. They would just take whoever had the ball, they were just taking them off the dribble, penetration, and one going to the line, old school. But then the second half, they came out and just wanted to keep shooting the long ball. What's your take?
Yeah, and my take is you live by the three, you die by the three. And I get what they were trying to do. They wanted to go ahead. They knew they needed to put Golden State away. They needed to push the lead from 19 to 30, but the shots weren't falling. So go back to what you were doing in the first half. Stop trying to put Curry in these ball screens because you think he's weak defensively, and just drive whoever you got on you to the cup. If that three ball is not falling for Dallas, they're going to lose. They're going to lose the series. And so therefore, to me, the maturation process for the Dallas Mavericks is this. Find you a post guy this offseason that's going to help you get to the promised land. And I'm not saying you're not out of this series by no stretch of the imagination. You were down 0-2 to the Utah Jazz. You were down 0-2 to the Phoenix Suns. You came back and you won those series. You fought. But you didn't just stay glued to that three-point line. You did what brought you there. So that's all I'm asking you to do. That's all the staff here at Basketball More Than a Game is asking you to do. Get to the cup. Stop shooting that three ball so much. 45 three-point shots, that's a bit too much, especially if they're not falling.
You know what? Let's see what Jason Kidd had to say about that matter.
When we shoot 3 or 4 threes in a row and miss, you got to get to the rim. You got to get the ball into the paint. You got to get to the free throw line. And that's just understanding the situation.
You know what, Coach Quick? Coach Kidd is exactly right. What situation are you in? Where's your head? How come you don't know that your shot ain't falling, all right? I don't know, and I'm not trying to call Jason Kidd out, but maybe I am. Call a timeout for the love of G, right? Call a timeout,
yes,
and I'm going to look at my guys I'm going to look them square in the face and go, okay, you know what? Your shot ain't falling. Quit doing that, right? Quit shooting that long. And actually, Charles Barkley said that on the set, is you got to figure that out. Why don't you know when your shot is not falling? And I get it. Well, shooters keep. You know what? That's for Klay Thompson. That's for Steph Curry. That is for shooters. Yeah, everybody shoots the three, but everybody shoots the three is not classified as a shooter. And
that's right.
And when your ball is not falling, what do I have to do besides do what? Keep jacking it. I tell you what, I got so frustrated, I turned it off and went to bed. Because when you blow a 19-point lead, when you had them dudes on the ropes, you've got to have your head examined. I just don't get it. Your take.
I completely agree, Coach G. You got Golden State on the ropes, the heart of a champion, man. You got to go ahead and keep your foot on the gas and go ahead and take these guys out, because you could very easily be going back to Dallas tomorrow tied 1-1. Now we just don't know what to expect now, because you're down 2-0 to champions, and it's gonna be tough. I know you're going home, but it's gonna be ultra tough to beat those guys with the way they're playing right now at the confidence level that they're playing with. With that being said, I'm going to go ahead and hey, because you have Luka, and I expect Spencer Dinwiddie to play a much better game being at home, I'm going to go ahead and pencil the Dallas Mavericks in for a win on tomorrow night.
You know what? I'm going to ride with the Dallas Mavericks on that win for tomorrow night, because they'll be back home, sleeping in their own bed. But the bottom line to it is, you know what, and I'll say this, Draymond Green was out of control last night. The league's got to do something. The officials own it, tee him up, send him to the locker room, because how much is he comes to Dallas with that mess, he'll be in the locker room before he gets his sneakers tied up good. So listen, this is Coach Goins, Coach Quick. We're going to step away, pay a few bills, but we'll be back after our commercial break.
Visit our website, coachgoins.podbean.com. Always learn to pass. Process, attitude, sacrifice, satisfaction.
Looking for a smarter way to shop for your insurance for you and your families? Look no farther. There is help. With several different companies and plans to choose from, whether it's life insurance or Medicare supplemental plans, finding the right plan has never been easier. Licensed with multiple companies and able to shop various rates, plans to help find the best plan for you and your budget. Independent insurance broker Curtis Jackson is the one to call for help. Call Curtis now at 919-614-5796 for a no-cost consultation. The GQ Coaches Show is coming to ESPN Radio 1240 The Boss. Coaches Goins and Quick have teamed up again for candid conversation regarding professional, collegiate, and high school sports. The GQ Coaches Show on ESPN Radio 1240, The Boss. See you then. If you're in the Triangle area and looking for high-quality green cleaning, we have the solution. SES Enterprise, with over 18 years of providing high-quality green cleaning to the Triangle area, call Eric at 919-607-7171 and tell them Coach Goins sent you. You're listening to Basketball More Than a Game with Coach Goins and Coach Quick.
All right, this is Coach Goins and Coach Quick. We're back in, and once again, basketball more in the game. So we're going to be transitioning over to the PGA Championship. Coach Quick, I don't know if you got your clubs out and got your shoes ready to rock and roll today, but yesterday there was a course tying record by Bubba Watson, who did a great job. He finished firing off a first round of a 63, so congratulations to Bubba. And also Will Zalantris has a one-shot lead in the PGA Championship, which is being played in Tulsa, Oklahoma. Now, yesterday, Coach, they were dealing with them Oklahoma winds. And as those winds were circulating and it kind of died down, to be able to for them to finish off. That course is not level. The course is it's a pretty tough terrain golf course. I've never been there personally, but I did watch yesterday's round. But you know who I was really proud of, and that's none other than Tiger Woods. So what's your take on Tiger's performance yesterday?
Well, I thought he played well yesterday, pretty much kept it even from his round one, and he fought back from some adversity on Thursday due to some leg pain, from an injury due to a car wreck. But Tiger, he just continues to show the heart of a lion, but I can't do it any justice. Let's go listen to what Tiger Woods had to say.
Well, I got off to a good start, as you said. I hit a lot of bad iron shots in the middle part of the round and late in the round. And consequently, I just never got the ball close for any birdie putts. They're all long putts, or I had to try and get up and down and just put myself in bad spots.
Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, you just heard what Tiger Woods had to say about putting himself in, in some bad spots with his putting and everything. But he also, talked about, his leg injury and of what type of treatment he got on it. But let's listen to what he had to say about treatment for his leg.
Lots of treatment, lots of ice baths, and try and get the inflammation out and try and get it ready for tomorrow.
All right, so you just heard from what Tiger Woods has to go through getting ready for tomorrow. So listen, as we said earlier, Bubba Watson did shoot an outstanding fires, a record-tying 63. So, we're not here to put words in Bubba's mouth. So let's see what Bubba had to say about that second round 63.
The slower greens obviously helped. It makes the chipping it slows down the chips and everything. All the shots that you're hitting in there, it makes the ball grab more. Because you have more, a little bit of, more grass on there to grab and spin shots. And, without the heat, the cloud cover made it a little bit softer. But when that wind died down, you just felt like you had a chance to score. I'm not saying it was easy by any means. I just hit some putts, hit some shots that helped me. My whole goal was to make the cut. So I was just trying to stay ahead of the cut line, and every time I made a birdie, I just kept saying I was one more to the good.
You know what, Coach Quick, it ain't every day, man, you pull them clubs out and fire that 63 like Bubba Watson did. So it's great to see him on the comeback. We know that he's capable. And again, as he said, and you heard him say, is once those winds died down, he was able to really put his game at the forefront, and he challenged himself, and he wanted to make the cut, and he did, and he had a course record 63. So congratulations to Bubba, solid job, and as we know, Tiger continues to rebound, and hats off to Will as they move on to round 3. So good luck to everybody in the PGA Championship that's taking place in Tulsa, Oklahoma. So you know what, Coach Quick, in this segment, I want to kind of touch base back on the all-defensive NBA team was announced. So with that, I'll let you go ahead and take the lead. So who is anybody in the top 5 not on your roster?
Well, I tell you what, I probably would have put Draymond Green in the top five. Just for his body of work, and also Robert Williams of the Boston Celtics. I would have considered him as one of the top five members. But you can't go wrong with this top five. I mean, Rudy Gobert from the Utah Jazz, Marcus Smart, who's Defensive Player of the Year from the Celtics, Mikal Bridges from the Phoenix Suns, Jaren Jackson Jr., who had 177 blocked shots this year from the Memphis Grizzlies, as well as Giannis Antetokounmpo. You can't go wrong with that five. So, hey, hats off to those guys and hats off to the entire NBA defensive team.
Well, you know what? Since you called the first five, I'm gonna name the second five.
Yes,
So,
sir.
all right. So you had Bam Adebayo, Drew Holiday, Tomasas Tybal, Robert Williams, and Draymond Green. And watch this. People don't realize Drew Holiday, by hitting that milestone, I think he got a bonus of about $170,000 by making second team All NBA. But in that, I appreciate the body of work the NBA does by naming first team and also second team. But the top vote getter was Marcus Smart. And just absolutely fantastic. Also, the second top vote getter was Mikal Bridge. And then, of course, Rudy Gobert. And I think Rudy actually beats Hakeem Olajuwon for the most consecutive times being on the first team All NBA. And, of course, Giannis is going to be there. Jaren Jackson, as you said. But, again, the second team All NBA, you think about that. When guys come in the league, how do you figure out and how do you plan to stay in the league? Because, as a scorer, and we talked about it a couple of weeks back, I think the older Kobe got, he worked with Hakeem Olajuwon to do what? Jump in the paint. And in that, when you look at guys and say, how do I stay in the league? You look at Jimmy Buckets, and that's Jimmy Butler, of course. Jimmy came in and he prided himself on what? As a defensive guy. Now, not taking away from his offensive skill set, but we know good and well that guess what? He was a defensive kind of guy, made a statement. Now, guess what? He can turn his attention and turn it on as relates to being that defensive catalyst. So congratulations to the first team All NBA defense. Again, Marcus Smart, Miguel Bridges, Rudy Gobert, Giannis Antetokounmpo, Jaren Jackson Jr., and second team, Bam Adebayo, Drew Holiday, Matisse Tybal, Robert Williams, the third, and Draymond Green. So that's the first and second team voting for all defense. Now, Coach, we're going to go here. This may be a sore subject for you, but we got to go here. The vacancy that is in Inglewood, California, talking about your Los Angeles Lakers. What's your take?
Well, it came out this week that the top three candidates for the job are Darvin Ham, who's an assistant coach for the Milwaukee Bucks, Terry Stotts, former Portland Trail Blazers head coach, and also Kenny Atkinson, who is an assistant coach with the Golden State Warriors, and he's also the former Brooklyn Nets head coach. Well, my take on this, my guy's not in the top three, and that was Mark Jackson. So I got to talk about the guys who are left. Well, Terry Stotts, he did an outstanding job in Portland, but I don't see him as the Lakers head coach. Also, Darvin Ham, he's an assistant. Darvin is well respected around the league. Guys like him, and they want to play for him. But I just feel like my Lakers team needs some head coaching experience. And so right now, if I had to pick a head coach for the Lakers, I'm picking Kenny Atkinson to be the guy to come and lead the Lakers into next season and years beyond. So that's just my take on it. I don't know how anybody else feel about it, but at this point, out of the three candidates that are left, I'll take Kenny Atkinson as the head coach.
Well, you know what? And if he's been the head coach before, I'm going to get into – this is what I'm going to say. To coach the Los Angeles Lakers, you don't need an up-and-coming. You don't need somebody that has never sat in the seat. And people say, oh, man, well, why are you saying that? Okay, we're going to get real with this, right? Because, number one, you're in L.A. It is a big market. You've got big shoes to fill. You've got big-time superstars on that team, okay? What is wrong with Mark Jackson? Mark Jackson is proven. Mark Jackson has built or did build the Golden State Warriors. Mark Jackson has a stance. Mark Jackson believes what he believes. He expects you to come to work. He's going to hold you accountable. He wants men to be men. And guess what? Men have to play for Mark Jackson, not boys. And it's not boys to men. It's men. To be on his roster, he had, like I said, not to be the dead horse, coach, in that he has an expectation. He set standards, and that's what he has to do in order to right the ship. And I think that's what LA has to do. LA, in the head coaching job or position, they can't be looking for projects. They can't be looking for people who are going to try to put a stamp on it, or they're trying to get a fresh perspective. So what they've got to do between Rob Pelinka, who's my other guy, who's Kurt Rambis, Jeannie Buss, you know what? You need to call the Magic Man. You need to have the Magic Man sit around the table, give his opinion, and somebody says, what about the King? Well, you know what? You got to bring LeBron to the table and say, you know what? What do we need to do? We got to strip it down. I heard a little bit about possibly them signing Zach LaVine. They may need to go after the center from, you think he may need to go to Dallas, but he may end up in L.A., the kid from the Phoenix. But in that, they've got to be changing of the guard. And what I mean by changing of the guard, you got to go in the locker room and you got to take some nameplates down above some lockers. I'm sorry. That's just what you got to do. You got to dump that weight, and you got to kind of revitalize. And you got to start from the defensive side of the ball because you got to play defense. And I think that's what's really going to happen, hopefully, in these finals, because there really hadn't been any solid defensive minded coaches in that name or in those names. But again, I would love to see Mark Jackson get that nod. But whoever they land, they've got their plate cut out for them, or they have their work cut out for them, and they've got to be able to really, really understand what that looks like, what it has to happen. So with that, I'll kick it over to you for your closing comments as it relates to this hiring.
Okay, well, Coach, first of all, I like to get your prediction on out of these top three. Who do you feel will land this job?
Well, Coach, you give me that opportunity. I'm going to go with Darwin Ham as my guy, even though I don't think they need to go that route, but I think you got to put an up and coming with a solid veteran player such as LeBron to give him an opportunity. Now, not saying that Kenny Atkinson can't get it done or that, guess what, Terry Scotts can't get it done. But I think Darwin, because there comes a time when the assistant coach has to get that nod. Because if he doesn't get that nod, he's got to move on, right? You look at Pat Ewing. How long was Pat Ewing in the NBA as assistant coach? He doesn't get that nod. He's got to do what? He ended up at the college ranks, right? What makes Eric Spoelstra for the Miami Heat? How did he become from the film guy to head coach? Because he was in that process. They groomed him. They set him up. They knew that, guess what? They would still have a direct line. Boom. So he's been in Miami for a long time. Steve Kerr hit his 8th-year anniversary last night. He's been there for a long time, right? So when you get these guys that have basically kind of been groomed, you got to be able to give them a nod. And hopefully, if it is Ham, he ends up there, that he will have every opportunity. They'll support him to be successful. The players will embrace him and be able to move on, just like they've done with Boston. Not to shift gears and not to answer your question pinpointedly, but when you bring in new coaches, guys have got to buy in. I think the Celtics have done a very, very good job with their hiring and those guys buying in to that entire process. So listen, as we start winding this thing down, we've got to pay a few more bills, but you have on none other than Coach Quick and Coach Goins on Basketball More in the Game. We'll be back after this commercial break.
Visit our website, coachgoins.podbean.com. Always learn to pass. Process, attitude, sacrifice, satisfaction.
If you're in the Triangle area and looking for high-quality green cleaning, we have the solution. SCS Enterprise, with over 18 years of providing high-quality green cleaning to the Triangle area, call Eric at 919-607-7171 and tell them Coach Goins sent you. The GQ Coaches Show is coming to ESPN Radio 1240 The Boss. Coaches Goins and Quick have teamed up again for candid conversation regarding professional, collegiate, and high school sports. The GQ Coaches Show on ESPN Radio 1240 The Boss. See you then.
Looking for a smarter way to shop for your insurance for you and your families? Look no farther. There is help. With several different companies and plans to choose from, whether it's life insurance or Medicare supplemental plans, finding the right plan has never been easier. Licensed with multiple companies and able to shop various rates, plans to help find the best plan for you and your budget. Independent insurance broker Curtis Jackson is the one to call for help. Call Curtis now at 919-614-5796 for a no-cost consultation.
You're listening to Basketball More Than a Game with Coach Goins and Coach Quick.
All right, so we're back in, and as we wrap this show up, we've talked a little bit about everything. Basketball, we talked about life. We talked about real conversations, but you know what, Coach Quick, as we bring this show to end, we do it with heavy hearts. I tell you what, I found out yesterday a very, very good friend of mine who was very instrumental in my law enforcement career passed away, and that is, man, wow, it's very hard. When I even get ready to say his name, I had to take a step back here, and that's Arthur Fry, and that's Chief Arthur Fry, who was the Chief of Police of Moore County Schools. But when I became a brand new probation parole officer in Moore County, North Carolina, then Detective Fry took me under his wings, really coached me through a lot of stuff as relates to, serving warrants, treating people, doing the right things. As you wear that badge and you encounter the people, and then I end up coaching his sons at Union Pines, and he assisted me during my time as a JV baseball coach. But losing him is a blow. Condolences to his family, his lovely wife Pat, and his sons Stanley and Alan. Arthur was a man. He was a man in every sense of the word, Coach. And I tell you what, man, when I got that word yesterday, I was at work, and then I had to take a moment. It had to take some time. Then when I got home, I had that conversation with my wife. I had to take some time again, just because, like I said, he was instrumental in my career as it relates to law enforcement. And I'll go ahead and kick it over to you.
Yeah, Coach Goins, man, I tell you, I got the phone call yesterday coming back from Hamlet, North Carolina. My wife called me. She told me that my brother had called and stated that Arthur Fry had passed away. And, it just hit me like a sack of potatoes in the gut. And, I had to go back and look on Facebook for myself to see it, and it was true. And definitely, Arthur Fry, who was just a great man of integrity. He was a fair man, and I got to really know him during his time at Union Pines when his sons were there playing football and baseball, Alan and Stanley. And just like to give a shout out to Miss Pat and his entire family, and I just like to let them know that my condolences out to them. They're in my thoughts and prayers as well. And also, I like to just acknowledge Tar Heel Nation for a minute, as they lost Adamola Okalaja, who was a part of Dean Smith's last teams at North Carolina. I think Adamola went to like 4 Final Fours. He was a part of the team that Coach Smith had, where he stated that he had 6 starters with Adamola Okalaja, Maktai Njai, Antoine Jameson, Vince Carter, Shaman Williams, and Ed Cota. Those guys, they allowed Dean Smith to get to like 879 career victories. And I just thought they were a special group. So I like to just offer my condolences and prayers to the Okalaja family, as well as all of Tar Heel Nation.
So again, well said. So condolences to Tar Heel Nation and Alamola Okalaja. I saw some posts, and Terrence had shared some stuff, and we just had Terrence on. So, condolences to the Fry family, as well as, just like we said, Alamola Okalaja. So, 2 gentlemen that we've lost, but this is what we do. We've lost them, but we remember them and how they touched each and every one. So we just want to stop, pay dedication to them. We honor them by dedicating this show in the memory of both of those gentlemen. So with that, Coach Quick, get us to the locker room.
For Coach Goins, myself, Coach Quick, we'll see you in the gym.
You've been listening to Basketball More Than a Game with Coach Goins and Coach Quick. Our podcast is available on podbean.com.